The Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry as I group them into small paragraphs. Their grouping will become known as a psalm, and together they become psalms. Let me show you our Creator's 12 commandments, listed in Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Any father of a family or his wife who did not obey any one of these 12 commandments, our Creator demanded they bring him a sin offering. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Next, I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 26, verse 26, the word bars to arches, and the words now reveal the style of the roof for our Creator's tent for meeting with Him. Let me show you the translator's words from the preface of the 1611 King James Bible. They gave 4 reasons for themselves or others to edit the Bible's words. The red arrow at the top points to their 3rd reason to edit the text. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the Divine, to a clerk named Gregory. The next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome established the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. There is no such thing as nature to a truthful Christian. Our Creator created everything. Not everyone has the knowledge to correct every word. I have an old Bible program that has the New American Standard Bible 1977 concordance to help find a better word. Their concordance has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. The translators removed his name, YHVH, to put in 2 titles, Lord and God. I replaced those titles using the letters Y and V as his name, for the Hebrew language does not have a J, O, or W. By using these 2 letters, I am closer to the truth than anyone using J, O, or W for his name. No proper English was used. The blue highlighted text is text that I am removing. The red highlighted words are little words that I'm adding. Gray italic words are words that I added. To respect and honor our Creator, all capital letters in purple are our Creator's words. This is Jesus' prophecy, for I am revealing the first writer's words to tell you the true truths about Jesus. Their words will take your belief to trusting our Creator. You will be watching prophecy before your eyes as I edit true truths back into their psalms. All right, now this is going to be chapter 7, I think. But anyways, what I've done already, this is what I've come up with in Jeremiah so far. This is a 3-verse format that you see here. And these become like small paragraphs, these small ones, and then 2 together make a larger paragraph, so you see me spacing them a little bit different. But you can see I've got quite a bit, and this is pretty good because the stories are almost in order so far, and then there's this space that it's going to be a different subject here. Like a different paragraph or different chapter, and this was 3, and it seems to be text that he's talking to somebody or arguing with somebody, and then there's a small prophecy there. When the words are in a large purple like this, all capitals, this is to honor and respect when our Creator is speaking in the text. And I know I'm the first to do that in any text. And then you can see again, he's talking to somebody. Here again, he's talking to somebody. And like here, when I was talking about this in the last video, sometimes he's talking about a prophecy to people after he's already given the prophecy that he's been commanded to go say. So this might be a conversation where he's bringing it up as a reminder to somebody. And that was the last text here I did right here. And my pages are like 22 inches long. So considering that if that's the start of the page, that the text that I found this last time is quite a lot of text, almost 2 pages long, or a page and a half long, which is longer. It's the longest one that I've found the most text in so far. And I'm trying to do every chapter, break these into every chapter, and there's going to be 60 in Jeremiah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Jeremiah, but for those that are new here, I'm going to let you know where Jeremiah is in the text. This is Israel that's already, or the nation Israel, that has already went into captivity into Assyria. Now, Jeremiah is during these times, and he is going to live on as with the remnant later. So I don't know how long he's going to live, but to say he's going to be about 65 and then pass away, I would say 10 more years. So you have 60, and he doesn't start out young as a prophet, but I'm thinking from 15 to 20 he is. So these are the kings that we're going to be talking about. This king is a good king because he's got a capital letter. These are idiots. They went on to the female goddess and started worshiping her. Now, what I've got here is just Jeremiah. I already went and cut it all up. I try to start that way to at least cut down 20 minutes of timing on these videos. And I guess I will get started here. Now, as you know, up here, when I last got done, this is not like a starting of a prophecy. This is like he's already been talking. Now this, I don't know, because the way it's starting, it's not starting out that our Creator said to declare his prophecy, or I'm sending you to the people to say what I'm saying. So this could be, again, text that he knows that he's going to be talking to somebody else, or maybe it is a prophecy, and I figure that out when I put the pieces together. So now that you're all caught up, I do have pictures on the right-hand side of the text that I've already done. Now that is the books that I've already got done, and they're kind of pieced in order. Some could go way back before David, but a lot of them are going to be from the time of Daniel on, when they return. So Jeremiah is going to go before Daniel in the text there. I don't know if I've got Daniel in this text here, but when you start seeing text that talks about their returning, then you'll know that this text will go after Daniel's going to be above there, and then this will be before Daniel. Flee for safety, sons of Benjamin. Now these guys, they've already gone into captivity. Okay. I showed you that because I want to do this right, and I want to make sure you understand that Dan, or Benjamin, already has gone into captivity, and this is going to be 50 some years later that he's going to be talking. So even if there are remnant that have sought refuge in Judah, this still wouldn't be something they would say, or our prophets are sent to speak to everybody coming through the gates into Jerusalem, or at the gate of the courtyard to the entrance to our Creator's house for meeting with him, or to the king he sent, or he sent to the priests or the elders. So he isn't ever sent to like the sons of Benjamin, that he wants everybody to know what he's saying. So that's why he does it in these places. Flee for safety from the midst of Jerusalem. Whoops. And this is how I say I'm getting rid of words here. And let me put the mouse in my other hand. My other hand's starting to hurt, but I need to show you what I'm doing here. The format usually has two major words in it, okay? And then I try to find the least amount of words to go between them to complete the sentence. Now you can see as I broke them up, they do kind of make small little sentences anyway. But that's how I found the format, is by looking at them later and then grouping what those words mean together. So, flee for safety from the midst of Jerusalem. Well, don't need this. You're going to blow a horn. It's going to be there. Rise a signal. That's a flag. A signal is a flag. And it's usually a flag for each tribe. And then there's the one for the kingdom itself. So, raise a flag over this. I don't think so. So evil looks evil. For evil looks down from the north. Evil is coming. For a great destruction, for your destruction. And I would have to say that great is not needed here. So this would have to be from the north. Your great destruction. And I'll try to smooth these out a little later as I go. North for your great destruction. When I'm reading it, I can see that I need that word in here. But I'm seeing that this is a 4-verse group. Notice how this is like a comma, and this is a period, like they hook together, where I can't make this as a statement and then these two are talking about it, because this and this becomes the next comma and period. So it looks like I've got a 4-verse format continuing in chapter 6. And I think I just posted on the, let me see something real quick. Nope. Okay. I thought I put 7 up, and I'm thinking that shouldn't have been. I must have mentioned I started off wrong. I said this was chapter 7. It's chapter 6. Sorry about that. So now that I have a 4-verse, and evil looks down. Well, evil is not looking down. Evil is coming. And this would be our Creator speaking with us. So is coming. Looking down has to be coming. And evilness is coming from the north for your destruction. So I like that. Your evil, for evilness. I don't need that. evilness is coming from the north for your destruction. Now, that means, to me, there's clues in these when you try to put them in a timeline. And let me show you here that here, these guys just left. Now, in his day, his Zeke, the last captain that came down here, Isaiah prophesied that our Creator's going to stick a rumor in that guy's ear, and he's going to have to go back away from the gates of Jerusalem, and he does, and it's told us then that they're in battle up there. So now that text is from that era, which is right around, you can see right in here, is going to be the starting of Babylon. It really isn't known who's going to win. So to say just from the north, this has to be his earlier text here. Okay. Don't know how long they battled. So, but I will stick it in if it means Babylon later. But right now I'm just telling you that the clue in the words say this is an early prophecy, not knowing it is Babylon. Or if the text comes out that it is completely saying that I can't just say from Babylon is for your destruction, then it means this is not written by Isaiah or by Jeremiah. It's written by another prophet. Now, I've done this text a lot before, 30 years doing this, probably 31 now, that I know that there's other prophets that would have been before them, but there's not much words of what they've said. So if they've stuck it down here in Jeremiah, I will put it up there where it belongs, saying that it is in the days for King Manasseh, okay? Because this idiot, he's sitting and meditating to have sex with his so-called female goddess. Ra is a sun god, and his daughter is known as the moon goddess. Now, he actually, with the priest here, they were putting their false idols in our Creator's meeting room with him. So this means our Creator stopped meeting with them. That means his light was not shining over the mercy seat and speaking to the priest. Yet I have a psalm that speaks to this time that he still was showing himself as a light that they bowed with reverence to, or his light they bowed with reverence to, and then they would speak to him, our Creator. So maybe it is the prophet from this time, which I think is like Uriah, Micah, Malachi, those prophets at that time. I don't care what you look up on Google and say. Google is so bad because once you figure out the text is corrupt, then you understand why these pieces are so important in having this description in them. Okay? There's prophets that are mentioned. Example, Uriah. That he said that the priests are arguing about what words I think Jeremiah is going to be talking about that at that time. But it didn't happen in his time, so don't worry, it's not going to happen in his time. But they ended up not telling, I don't have the text actually from Uriah at that time, but what I do have is text that says that that King Manasseh chased down Uriah. He fled to Egypt, and then they brought him back in Jerusalem. They killed him. So he's one of the known prophets that they killed in Jerusalem. So when you read the text from Jesus, that Jesus is talking about him as one of them. I don't know if they killed Micah, Malachi. We don't have any of their deaths or them as well as recorded when they died. Then at this king and this guy become the next prophet. Where in the earlier text at David's time, we have that text. Okay, evilness is coming from the north for your destruction. Emily and dainty when done. This is not true. They use this word as Jerusalem, so Jerusalem I will cut off. Jerusalem I will destroy. Now it's not in, I don't see it here, but I do know that his house is going to be burnt at this time too. So, you know, here, this might be like this, or a great destruction. So that's, and then this for a great destruction. And they're not, and he's not telling them it's the house at this time. We only know this because we know the future here. And then I'm going to put a missing word here. And then I'm just going to start it new and then put this up here. Okay. An army of evilness is coming from the north. An army of evilness. That kind of happened quick, didn't it? Army of evilness is coming from the north for great destruction. For Jerusalem, I'm going to make it green, this down, this. Usually I'm just trying to say I'm replacing a word like this. A Jerusalem I will destroy. Destroy. Okay, so just not cut off, he's going to destroy it. If you don't know the story, they're going to actually burn his house down, and they're going to, after they've taken him in captivity, they're going to burn all the houses in Jerusalem and throughout their land, and then set fire to his house as well. Okay, now those two make a good verse here. So now what I'm looking for here is, well, they put a female deity in here again. That ain't gonna happen. Pitch the tents around her. That ain't gonna happen. Because it's Jerusalem, yes, I will destroy. They will come and pitch their tents around it. So this, 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 this. This is not really, they will pastor each in his place. I don't think that's, I can't, I'd have to change so much to make it mine. I'm not going to. I'd rather just put a verse as missing. This be like herders. Oops, I don't forget, yes. Like herders. Like they're herders of flocks. Need the word they here now. They will come and pitch their tents around it. Now this, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know that they besieged Jerusalem. So they'll set up their ramparts and besiege Jerusalem. So I'm thinking the verse that's missing here is right here. And then that would mean that that's what needs to be here is something missing. And then that makes the format. Prepare for war. Now, they never went to battle with them. Get that female deity out of here. Prepare for war. Arise. Now, I don't like this. I like it like this. Let us attack at noon. And I don't need this. An attack at noon. And I don't like any of these words. I could add this, but maybe this is all out. Woe to us, for the day declines, for the shadow evenings lengthen. That doesn't mean shit. Okay? That's just not needed. Prepare for war and attack at noon. Here they're going to cast up a siege. So tents all around. So this is just them trying to put things into the text. So what have I got here? For this was said by YV. And I'm going to use the title creator here for the simple fact that he created Israel, the nation Israel. So that's why I'm using this title as creator. And I don't think I need the word for here. This was said by YV, our creator. They will, whoops. They will cut down I'm trying to think before don't. That is not. I'm going to make this as like one word. Cut down trees. I'm just thinking that maybe this sentence or this goes here. Against Jerusalem, this is the city, or this is the city to be punished. I got that wrong. That goes up here. Okay, cut down trees and cast up a siege. Cut down trees to set up a siege. Okay. To be against Jerusalem. A city to be punished. Punished. And who's within? Midst is the same thing as within, but who's within will be oppression. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to take this, remove that, then I'm going to replace that, because the word within is more the reason. People aren't going to know Old English here, so this is just updating this word, although I use it other times. Who is said to be punished, and whose, yeah, and whose, and who. I should just put who is in and be done with it. Who is within. And who is within will only be well, let me see, this is out. Okay, now I have it set it up so you get to see it, me set this up. This is 6, this is chapter 5, so you get to 6. And this is verse 6, so we start at 5. Oppression. What about only? Everyone. Only is everyone. That's a far reach for that word, but it's used 98 to every. What now? Let's see what else. Let's see, where's the word only? Only is used only once here, so I can change this word to get a better meaning here. Everyone, you can see right here, whenever, whoever, and I want to say everyone is oppressed. Now, with me saying that, I don't like the word oppressed for 12-year-olds to read this, so everyone here and this. So what's a better word for impression by the secular dictionary or theorists? Oppressed. Let me put in the word oppressed. Everyone is afflicted. Everyone is depressed. Who is within? If I put put depressed there. I need to come up with a better word here for oppression. Or no, for only. Life is depressed. All, only to all. Okay, let me do this. Everyone will be, and I want a better word here, will be harassed. I think they're going to be distressed, but it's depressed. Let me see if there's something better here. Will be broken. I think for a 12-year-old, that would be a good word. Will be worried. Worried. Will be worried. That's the better word. Okay. So now those two go together. Nope, they just want to keep putting that female deity in here. So I don't see any of this. I say it's out of here. So, well, no, let's see here. Be warned, Jerusalem, lest I be alienated from you, lest I make it desolate. No, he's already said, not least I make you desolation. He's going to make him a desolation. That's in another text, so don't need that. They're going to go besiege. They're coming down from the north, blow the hump. Okay, I'm trying to get the idea of what's going on here. What kind of text would come after this? A remnant of Israel. They will thoroughly glean. Don't need this. Gleaning is when somebody goes over the land and picks the fruit, and then others come through and looking for what's missed. They will thoroughly glean. for a remnant of Israel, meaning that they're going to go look to make sure that those that haven't hidden themselves are old, sick, people that aren't going to be able to travel the 500, 600 miles they got to go. So they would leave them behind for the remnant, for a remnant of Israelis. I'm going to have to use this as Israelis because these are actually going to be the good guys. So those that are hidden are going to come out. But everyone will be worried. I have to put this as why, but he's already saying this right here. So I can't use them words again this quickly. So I go, then they will. I know that I got those two words down here. But what I want to do is get rid of this word. So if I add, then they'll glean as a vine. Okay, maybe that's what I'll keep then. Put that there here. Then they will, don't need the, then they'll glean like the vine. Meaning this gleaning means to be inspecting this to see they didn't miss any. So that means they'd be sending soldiers out to look over the people. Then they will glean like a vine. I'm not sure if this is, maybe I'm missing this here. I'll make you a desolation, a land not inhabited. Not inhabited. A land not established. A land not established. Because they're going to burn the houses down. They will make you a desolation, a land not established. See, this is like I said, when you want to figure out what the word desolation means, the definition is right here. And I don't need the word then. They will glean like a river or like a vine. For a remnant of Israelis. I think that's good enough to get the meaning across. This isn't set in stone, by the way. I've got months of re-editing this stuff yet, but this is just to get to say that yes, I've got something here that I can say I'm happy with and move on. I'm just trying to prove that they're here. Your hand again, like over its branches. No. Now this is this is Jeremiah speaking, because this above is like our Creator defining, or it's like Jeremiah's telling them this is what's going to happen. So whom will I speak and give this warning to, that they can hear what I'm saying and run for their life? Because when our Creator is telling them these warnings, in one of them he tells them to flee. And since they know they're coming from the north, they fled to Egypt. And that is Ezra, who's going to come back from Egypt. Okay, and he's going to lead a lot of Israelis. So a lot of them did flee at this time. So when he was saying these things to them, our Creator even told them to flee. To whom will I speak and give his warning? Because maybe he's already done this, and he knows that they're all left. And then there's nobody left. His warning. Whom will I speak and give his warning? For their ears. Now, this would be the ones that are in the land that are against our Creator, meaning their ears. That's because it's going to be jumpy to go back and forth in the text who's who. That's why I'm doing all the capitalization and trying to lock down words to give direction when there's reading this. For their ears are closed, and they will not listen. Gotta get rid of this. For their ears are closed. So I need the word so they will not listen. Okay. They will not listen to words from YV. For I become, or I have become a reproach to them. I'm hoping I'm reading it as if he would be saying these. And so that's how I'm trying to edit it. To words from YV, for I have become a reproach to them. In it. And it's words from YV that they don't is an it. They have no delight. I'm looking down here, and this is going to be missing. If I might be able to use something. Now I am full of wrath. I am full. I'm filled with hate for them. Oops. I am filled with hate for them. I have become a reproach to them. It's they, but it's talking about him above. So why this should be no delight, not happy with what's going on is what I'm seeing here. 2 words from YV, for I have become a reproach to them. They are not delighted by me. Now I am filled with hate for them. Me and them, they have no delight in me. And I'm not sure if that's the right word that I want to use. Let me see here. Over here. This is 10, but it's at the bottom. Have no delight. Let me show you what the word delight here. Now this, they are not pleased. They are not pleased with me. I like the word pleased. Okay. And then have to add a T here. They are not pleased with me. They're not pleased with me. Now I'm filled with hate for them. Okay. That sounds tit for tat, but those are 2 that goes together. Now I am worthy. I'm weary with holding it in. Pour it out on the children in the streets of the gathered of you. Men together, both husband and wife, will be taken. Now, Wivey is weary. YV is weary. Together both, that's together both husband and wife or both husband and wife will be taken, the aged and the older and the oldest. But leave those that leave who is aged and old. Both husband and wife will be taken, but they will leave those I gotta say ill and oldest. In this, I gotta say I've got to add my word here. The ill and the oldest. Now that becomes a 4-verse. Because we got to have something to go with the ill and oldest, or aged and oldest. Like I said, they couldn't make the trip. Wivey is weary. But if he's talking and this is nothing, on the gathering of the young, this has to be man. You gotta include females in it. So I'm gonna use the definition our Creator gave of man. Man, young. Withholding it. This wants to divide here, but this is not reading, even if I do it this way. But if I do it this way, and the streets will be a gathering. Will, in the streets, they will gather. I mean, if I got them down here, they're being taken away. I have to have the text above it saying it. So that's why I'm coming up with these words here. In the streets, they will be gathered. In the streets, they will be gathered. It's going to be the younger. Younger. The younger together. Okay. Now that take it and leave those, because then they're going to burn things down. So wifey is weary of them. Them. Now that seems to make sense. Wifey is weary of them. Wifey is wrathful and wrathful and will pour it upon them. Well, we know that these have got to go together, or there's a verse missing here. So I'm going to put the word for here, see if that helps me at all. For wifey, if I get rid of them, for wifey will be wrathful. Will be. Got to trace some words here. Will be. Wifey will be wrathful. I'm going to put wrathful here. Will be wrathful. Children's not there. Not the, but them. If I put the word them here on them, YV will be wrathful. And it's got to be because the words have got to be saying something like who he's going to send as his wrathfulness. I want to say like send Babylon on them, because pour it out this is just not working. That's just not working. So to do this, I'm just going to say there's a verse missing here, and it's right there that it's missing. And I'll figure it out later. Hopefully, if not, it'll be just a blank. So both husband and wife will be taken, but they will leave those who are ill and the oldest. The ill and oldest. Okay, now that, yes, this is now something here's got to go here. Now, their houses will be turned over to others. That's not going to happen. We know that by history. It's the remnant and the land, and when it isn't established, people don't come to reestablish it. That's why our Creator says they're going to, as those bypassers go by, are going to say what happened. Okay, so this is what I know our Creator is going to do. He's not going to let them just pile in here, because he's going to send the remnant back from Babylon. And he's actually bringing, it was the decree from a king from Babylon to reestablish Jerusalem. And Daniel is the one who's being sent. I don't care what your other texts say, because I've looked at those books, I've deciphered those books, and I'm telling you, they are just junk made up stories. But he's already said this, so this doesn't matter to be said again. From the least, no, there's not enough there to make a, there's only one major word here. And if I put it up here, then greatest doesn't fit. Everyone was greedy. Even the priests. Out for material things, in other words, greedy, the way I can see it, for gain. Build up a wealth instead of just being at comfort, having a family and descendants living on the land after. Even the priests. Now this, I don't see this being said by a creator. Even our priests. And when I do that, all of a sudden it comes back to where he is speaking to, as maybe writing what happened. Dealt falsely. The greatest were like everyone, or everyone was like, let me see. Even to the greatest were greedy for gain. Okay, so I'm adding this word. This comes out. Even to the greatest. Then I can get rid of what I'm trying to put in, and that just says it. This is what I'm trying to do here. Even to the greatest were greedy for gain. Even our priests dealt falsely. This sounds like he's writing a note to people in the future. It really is. This isn't true. They dealt falsely, saying peace, but there is, but there was. He's talking in past tense. Like I said, the story is telling me that he's writing this, so it's kind of like it's got to be in the past. But there was no peace. Then I'm going to add this as a major word. Then they were ashamed because of their abominations. Then they were ashamed because of their abominations. So, And this would have been theirs that have turned away, not mankind who came from different races came in and lived there. This is specifically talking about those of their people who stopped obeying our Creator. Okay? So if that's true, that they don't have abomination, it would be for their evilness, for their rebellion. For their rebellion. Let me go with that word. Because this text is telling me that it's how they felt, those that didn't have that practice, by saying peace, but there was no peace. Then they were ashamed because of their rebellion. Okay. So somewhere in that text, it better be heaven that he's talking about our people and not really concerned about mankind anymore. They have done, they, and this is not, they did not know how to blush. That is, or it's already been said what he wants to say here. They were ashamed. And then it's not even them being ashamed. So you can't have one and then another saying they were not. Therefore, they fell among those who fall at a time of war. Therefore, they died. Fell, died, same thing. Therefore, they died among those who die at the time, who die in the time of war. In the time of war. I don't know about you, but it's all making sense in my little head. So let me see here. But that's already been said. That's can't be said at this time because they're already dead. um, this our Creator is not going to say anything to those. They already know that they're evil. They don't listen to him anyway. So why would he say, "Seek the ancient path"? What the hell? You don't know all these code words, but all these code words are in here. The ancient path is the path of the female goddess that they found long ago. I mean, I know it even exists in the Great Pyramid. The opening of the door is on the north left side. Left is the occults. Um, and that was their good way. That they believed that because that's what they thought they were becoming gods when they had that practice. And then they were gonna, when they died, they ascended into the heaven that they could see to become gods. They weren't stars up there as we know them. They were gods that live in heaven immortally. And then the fallen ones, they fell. And then weren't accepted in heaven anymore. I have, this sounds like our Creator. I have set you like a watchman. I have made you I have made you like a watchman. I made you like a watchman, saying to them, listen. You are sounding you are blowing and to assemble the people to make them want um well you are blowing the trumpet, but they will not listen. Now that sounds like our Creator talking to him, but it surely isn't. It's not now. This is like a whole different subject. So this is so far on its own and separate. It is now definitely a break in the story. Okay. A congregation, most of you probably wouldn't know what that means because it's not like a gathering at a church. A congregation, when the word is used correctly, it means like an encompass around our Creator's tent for meeting in the Sinai when he had them order the birth, the sons by Israel, to encamp around him. And then every Passover, first day of the year, they were to do this encompassing as congregation around him, meaning each tribe is to gather together to be around him. Okay, so know in the congregation and what is among them, but they will not listen. There, What is among them? That would be mankind is among them. The evilness is among them. Therefore, here the tribes are to know. Or the tribe. Or the tribes are to know. And their congregation. Therefore, here. Therefore, announce here. Announce. Therefore, announce to the tribes, for the tribes are to know. Therefore, announce. Therefore, herald. Therefore, herald. If they made the watchmen over, they are to listen. You are to blow the trumpet, but they will not. If you blow the trumpet, that's what's going on. If you blow the trumpet, if you blow the trumpet, they will not listen. Therefore, herald. For the tribes are to know. Okay. I think I got that right. Now, I don't know how many of you could have done that, but that's what I'm here for. Sent to clean it up. Therefore, herald, for the tribes are to know, and their congregation is evilness. Is evilness. And what it is among them. Now, for this to be true, he's got to be talking about their gods and goddesses here. Nope, I'm not seeing it down here, so maybe this, like I said, is a beginning from someplace else. Here, Earth, I'm going to bring it. He's not going to say that. He's already said this. This is a meaning to mean with this. So it's not like We know what I'm usually saying all this within like the word evilness and what is among them. So this would be a double of what's being said. This doesn't have any good meaning. You don't have burnt offerings. You have sin offerings that are burnt. Yours. Yeah, I'm going to have to put it your sin offerings are not acceptable, or but you got to have a sacrifice before you have an offering. Nor, well, I'd have to put nor here, nor not, that type of. For your sacrifices, it has to be the priest. For your sacrifices are not pleasing to me. That's what's missing. It's for the priest, for your sacrifices are not pleasing. So your sin offerings are not acceptable. That's the way it's supposed to be done. Move 2 verses up 2 verses. So I've got this. That needs to be an 8 point. And then this is what needs to be here. For the priest, for your sacrifices are not pleasing to me, so your sin offerings are not acceptable. Good. Because you have to sacrifice the ram or the goat, or even for the poorest, would be 2 turtle doves that they're going to kill them. And then they're going to be offered up on the altar. But if it's the ram or goat, they're going to take the hide off and remove the muscles. The muscles are showing the action of the sin that's going to be put on the altar, hung on hooks, cut up thin, put a fire on and it's going to burn it up real quick. And the male on the outside sees the smoke rising, and then it dissipates, meaning he's going to forgive your sin. So you have to have the sacrifice first before the offering. But these idiots don't know that. They aren't that smart. Therefore they are. Therefore it is your priest. Therefore it is your priest. Behold, they are laying whoops. They are laying therefore it is your priest. For behold, they have laid stumbling blocks before his people. But I can see when somebody's posting, it's the only place I can get it that my eye catches this. This one just doesn't need to be there. Okay, now, and if he stops by here, I hope that I'll pick up the conversation with him. If not, I've got to finish this chapter 6 here. So what I got to do is move this, get it right, and continue here. Okay, I think these two verses connect together, so that's what I did. Was I was going to make this, and I was going to keep working here. And let me make the text larger for you. There. And I can set it over here. They will stumble against them, father and son, together, neighbor, friend, will perish. That I'm going to remove because that's just not. It could be said someplace else, but right now the text, if you're listening to this on the video that I've completely put together, then you don't need to listen to this, so skip through it. But I already know I have text up here, and I'm trying to put this story together right now. and he's heralding about their evilness. And so he's already told them they're going to die a few times. Thus says YV, behold a people coming from the north land, a great nation will be aroused from their remotest. Well, it's not parts of earth. It's got to be land. Land of earth. Okay. Now this would be continuing. So I'm looking for a 4-verse format here. But this introduction, all of a sudden our Creator is saying these things. I don't need the word land. Behold a people. Behold an army. And like I said, this is strange because when I'm looking at the timeline here of Kings, and I know Jeremiah is down here at this time, and here is when there's a story right about this time in this guy's 35 years that the Syrian commander is going to be sent back, and they're going to start fighting between Babylon and Assyria. So it's not going to be known real quick or how long it takes for two large countries to battle. But we know that Babylon is the winner. So by this time, I'm thinking they should know it's Babylon. But again, I've got to say that when I'm seeing text like this and he's not saying Babylon, this text might be of a prophet that is coming from this time here in Manasseh where they didn't know. And I have a few prophets that I could tell you about, Uriah, Micah, I'm sure those two, maybe Ezekiel, it might be from this time. So the thing here is I know that's true. So I'm looking for a text that would say Babylon, and it just doesn't say it. See, this is it's a great kingdom. So, coming from the north is a great kingdom. I guess I don't need that. I guess what I'm seeing here is that this here has to be prophecy from YV. And then this word, don't need this word, adding, because I know our Creator talks, but when a prophecy is a prophecy, And that's what it is. He's telling them what's going to happen. Behold, an army is coming from the north. And is, I guess I need the word and is a great kingdom. From the remotest north for the earth. Coming from the north, already got that said. I don't think this text needs to be here. It's already pretty much said, coming from the north, a great kingdom. Okay. They just don't have spears, they got swords. A great nation. It's got to be with. Don't need this, don't need this. This with bows. They would have had bows because that's the first attack that they do. And spears, that's head on, and that's older. That's pretty much at the time of when they fought Amalek. You got to remember, when they come out of the how do I say this? Out of the Sinai to fight Amalek, so they didn't really have swords. They had spears, so they might have lost because of that. But these guys, they got swords. Okay. I wouldn't doubt if they got spears either, but for crashing when the line comes together, they would have a guy holding a shield and the guy behind him have the spear behind him attacking. So, but that's one-on-one. But I could have used the word spears here with bows and spears. Cruel and cruel. If I put without here, I'm replacing the word no. So put the word no over here, then get this. Without mercy. Cruel and without mercy. Arrayed for battle. Arrayed as a man. That's arrayed for battle. Now, what that means is, at that time, they faced off each other for a long time. Could be days that way. And then all of a sudden they would make a charge to each other. So this lining up against each other is known as an arrayed. They're arrayed for battle. Against Judah. Now, Judah to be a bad wherever. That's why he's coming down, taking them over. I make it bold and I make them all small capital letters. That way you know the difference between when they're good and when they're bad. So, and if they got spears, then then it has to be with spears. Whoops. Yeah, I should have left that S with the color on it. With bows and spears, cruel and without mercy, arrayed for battle against Judah. Now that's how you get a nice 4-verse grouping there. Now, behold the battle coming from north. Yep, those two are going to be good. So now I got to continue here. We have heard the report. No, it's when you heard. Hearing hearing their report. Now this means that the watchmen or the looking for the enemy, they're going to report this. So you're hearing of their report. So I need of. Hearing of their report. Your hands will be limp. And I'll put, instead of English, fear. Oops. Fear will seize you. Kind of like having a heart attack out there, hearing about how many there are coming. Fear will seize you. How do I get this? Fear will seize you. I gotta put the word pain up here. Fear will seize you. I gotta put it like before childbirth. This has to go. This has to be said. I'm adding this because it doesn't make sense any other way. So, fear will seize you like before childbirth. Not go into the field. Into the field or roads. For the enemy's sword, for your enemies, gotta be apostrophe S, enemy's swords. For your enemy's swords will be, you got to keep making sure the text is for the future. So you have to keep that in mind when you're doing these. Will be on every side. For your enemy's sword be on every side. Be everywhere. Not side, but where. Everywhere. Because the fields do not go into the fields. I got to put an S here. Because that covers a lot of area. So it won't be on your sides, but it'll be everywhere. Now I got to come up with two more here. Don't need this. Put outside. I'll roll an inch a little more. Now this that's connecting together. That's connected together. So this is not making a 4-verse format that's going to have connecting. So I'm going to get rid of this because they aren't going to do that. Roll around in ashes at this time. They already got fear among them, and the text is going to say they're going to be besieged in the city. I've got that already. So they are going to do this at the hearing of that. So now this is like what he's telling Jeremiah. I have made you and assess their way. In this, I've already got text that says that he's going to make them his heralders. So I've already got one introduction like this. So this can't be a second introduction like that. That might have been for another prophet, another time. This would not be Jeremiah, but this would be another prophet. But this isn't true here. Our creator's telling them to repent and why they're doing it. Not that they may assess their way. It would be to repent this is just not speaking like it should be written. So yeah, I'm getting rid of this. This our creator's already got this down. Yeah, see, this is all tied to that assessor stuff. So that doesn't mean anything true. So I know this is the end of my video that had to stop. I don't know if I pushed the button to say stop streaming or I got disconnected for a certain reason. Don't know. But what I do know is I gotta save that. And oops, I haven't pulled up the other text yet. What I've got is text that already from desktop that I've already got started and cleaned up. So let me get it here. Okay. This is Jeremy chapter 1. So I'm going to go over here and oh yeah, I was talking to the guy there. So what I got to do is show you that I've got that text right now pretty much cleaned up, or at least in groups. So this one here will be 6. So just do this as a note for myself. Put this down here. But what you're seeing is when you see me putting these together, they really end up as a story. I mean, you wouldn't think I should be able to do what I'm doing, okay? But when you see it and it pops out, now you know that it's pretty much the truth, that they started with somebody else's text and then they corrupted it. And to say whose text it was has to be the first writer's words that they started with. So then this here has got to be a double space. And I got to come down here. I don't know how far, because I got to reread it to see if this goes together. But just as a quick cleanup. Siege be against Jerusalem, a city. Yeah, this was all our creator speaking, so that's why I was thinking that it should be like this. And this you can see is going to be his words as well, because he's prophesying about what's going to happen. But that's for me to clean up later. And like I said, none of this is really set as this is the answer. Yep, that's how those were grouped together. So those belong together. 2 here. But you see, if I got 2 here, then it's kind of got to be a 2 here, because these two gathered together, the young, and then this. Yep. I got to really look at it over careful, because these seems to have some pieces here, and not as good as what I've been finding, which is pretty normal. They end up being a lot of pieces. But I'll put the 3 verse and the 4 verses together, and sometimes they'll complete like a puzzle, and it becomes a very nice picture of what was actually they started with. And then others, it's just a piece. I got to find where the other piece is. Or just say that it's missing, but it's too true not to keep. So but maybe this is great kingdom, rule, battle. Then it'll be 2 spaces.